Huawei has been making smartphones for a while now, but they're a fairly new competitor in the whole laptop space. In the era of ultra portables and larger, beefier workhorses, it's hard to stand out from those that have been doing this for so long. But maybe the newcomer can bring some real innovation and inspire a little more competition in this very stale market. Though not without taking some cues from some of the best in the class. I'm Robert Rosenfeld, Techno Buffalo, and I'm here to answer a very simple question. Is the Huawei MateBook X Pro an incredibly compelling laptop that's worth your attention, or just yet another MacBook Pro ripoff? First off, if you have not seen my review of the Dell XPS 13 I did just a few weeks ago, click that link down below and check that video out. It's an ultra portable from Dell that is very similar to the MateBook X Pro in a lot of ways. And we've gotten so many requests to review this laptop, and I understand why. On paper, it's a no compromise machine. It's bringing the features and specs of the device that is future-proof, but also hangs on to a little bit of the past for convenience sake. The MateBook X Pro comes in at just under 3 pounds, and it's made out of an all-aluminum material that feels very premium. It's built extremely well, though there's no getting around the fact that this thing looks almost like a carbon copy of a MacBook Pro. But what Apple's high-end laptop is missing in some areas, the MateBook X Pro has, specifically when it comes to ports. There are 2 USB Type-C ports on this machine, with one of them being Thunderbolt 3 compatible, and on the other side, yes, that is a full-size USB-A port. To be honest, in my 2 weeks of testing, I used the port only a handful of times, though I will say just knowing that I had it there gave me a real peace of mind, and it saved me the frustration of having to dig through my backpack to find that Type-A to Type-C dongle. Honestly, I really appreciate this best of both worlds approach, and despite what other manufacturers may say, I don't think it took away from the design or added any unnecessary thickness. Another thing I appreciate about the MateBook X Pro is that almost bezel-less display. The computer has a 91% screen-to-body ratio that gives you lots of room to navigate around and take advantage of all that screen resolution. The display is not 4K, it comes in just under at a resolution of 3000 by 2000, so it's more like 3K, but it gets very bright, it's got excellent color reproduction, and it's also got a touchscreen, which is super nice and convenient for the times that you need it. Movies, games, web browsing, everything looks really good on this display, though you will notice one thing is missing, and that's the webcam. Huawei did something special with the camera placement on the MateBook X Pro. Instead of putting it under the screen or doing a notch design up at the top, the webcam lives built into a dedicated key on the keyboard. Simply press down on that key and the camera pops up and it's ready to use. It's definitely something that I've never seen done before, and it's nice for those conscious of their design, and especially in this day and age, their privacy, but I just have to say it, the angle flat out sucks, and there's absolutely no way to adjust it. The webcam lives in a mechanical switch, so you can either have it open or closed. There's no in between. Also, if you are going to use that webcam, you're gonna need to sit way far back, or okay, a considerable distance away, to be in decent view of that whopping 1 megapixel camera sensor. Okay, so I'm a little bitter on that camera placement, but the rest of the keyboard is actually fantastic. Like, it's so good that I did not want to stop typing on it. The keys are a chiclet style and they're very comfortable to type on, and it reminds me of that old MacBook Pro style keyboard, which is a very good thing. There's a good amount of key travel and the entire keyboard just feels very spacious. It's also spill proof, but luckily I haven't had to test that yet. The same story also goes for the trackpad below. It's very spacious, it's really smooth for navigating around the OS, it's got multi-touch support, and it's also significantly bigger than what you'll see on other laptops of this size. And after using this thing for a while, I really came to appreciate that extra trackpad space. There's also a Windows Hello compatible fingerprint reader built into the power button right above the keyboard. There's not much to say about this, it comes standard, it works really well, and it's a convenient and secure way to unlock and lock your machine. So for a laptop that's been such a strong performer overall, I have to say I was pretty disappointed by the built-in speakers, especially after how much Huawei has been hyping them up. To the company's credit, they are technically Dolby Atmos certified, and they do get very loud. But after listening to them for quite a while, they honestly are comparable to every other pair of laptop speakers I've heard. Don't get me wrong, they're definitely good enough for listening to music or watching YouTube videos, but if you really want to sit down and watch something for an extended period of time or really listen to music, do yourself a favor, get a pair of good headphones or a Bluetooth speaker. It's going to be much better than the built-in speakers. When it comes to performance, the MateBook X Pro can definitely hold its own against others in this class. It has Intel's 8th gen processor inside, and our unit specifically is packed with an i7-8550U, 16 gigs of RAM, and a 512GB NVMe SSD. You're getting an i7, though it is worth noting that it's running at a slower clock speed of 1.8 gigahertz. But honestly, for a thin and light laptop, you're not gonna get desktop level power. But if you keep your expectations realistic, you'll be really happy with the performance you are able to get out of this thing. And it's an i7, so it can handle multitasking really well. Day-to-day usage, like the standard stuff, email, web browsing, watching videos, is gonna run on this machine without any issues. It can also handle 4K video editing in Premiere at full quality playback without dropping frames, which is nice. And it can even do a little gaming. Well, sort of. Our review unit has the dedicated GPU built in. It's an NVIDIA MX150, and it does not come close to delivering the power of a desktop level GPU, but having 2 gigs of dedicated video RAM built into this laptop, especially a laptop of this size, is really nice. Don't expect any miracles here, but turn down your settings to medium or low depending on the game, and you can actually get games running at a very playable frame rate. I know many of you are curious on the battery life on the MateBook X Pro, and I'll just say that it came in right at the middle of the pack, which is totally fine. I got a very respectable 7 to 8 hours of battery life on average during my testing. No real need to stress about being near an outlet, but you won't be able to make it a few days without a charge. During the 2 weeks I used it, I was able to make it through an average day of work or a day of classes at school just fine, as long as I wasn't doing anything super CPU intensive. As a complete package, the MateBook X Pro is giving you a lot to consider. You'll need to get over the fact it looks like a MacBook Pro, because yeah, it totally does. But once you do, you can enjoy a beautifully designed and a really well-made machine. It's a very compelling package, but there's a catch. Pricing and availability is a little up in the air right now. Huawei says this machine is coming to the US, but we don't know when. We also don't know what the exact pricing will be when it does come from overseas. The MateBook X Pro is priced over in Europe at 1,500 euros, which is about equivalent to 1,800 US dollars, just so you know. This is in no way an insignificant amount of money, and you're getting an Ultrabook that definitely has some shortcomings. But as a second attempt from a newcomer in this space, I say give it some serious thought and consideration. It is by no means the laptop for everybody. But for those looking for a mid-sized, lightweight laptop that has a little pep in its step, you'll be very happy. So what do you guys think of Huawei's latest laptop? Is the camera placement on this thing innovative and very interesting, or is it annoying and looking at you from the worst possible angle? Leave a comment down below and let us know. We got a lot of requests to review this laptop, so I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Also be sure to subscribe to the TechnoBuffalo YouTube channel. Make sure you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. John's got a really cool video coming out soon where he finally reveals the specs and design of his dream phone. It is awesome. You definitely do not want to miss that one. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Thanks so much for watching. I am Robert Rosenfeld, aka that laptop guy from TechnoBuffalo. I'll see you guys in the next one.